Hello and welcome to this video. In this video, we will learn about setting up JavaScript. I will tell you something more about JavaScript language as well. So, JavaScript is a dynamic, interpreted, garbage collected, and uh, it's it is garbage collected and object oriented language. So it is not object oriented like C++ or Java. It is prototype based. Do not worry about these big keywords as they will become clearer during the course of this video. Now, there are two ways to execute JavaScript. One is in the browser. So suppose this is our browser. This is Firefox. You can say inspect, go to console, and then you can say console.log, and you can type hello. So it will output hello. This is one way, but this is very inconvenient. The second way is to go to nodejs.org and you can download either the LTS version or the development version. It does not matter whether you download LTS or this version till we hit the Node.js library. Once we start going through the documentation of this, the version will matter. But for now, the version will not matter. You can download either LTS or this. So how to set up on Linux, I will show you. This is where my Node.js would be downloaded. So this is the file, okay, which I have downloaded. It is a bit old, 21.6. Right now it is 20.18. This is not LTS for sure. This is development version. So you can download either this or this on Linux, and then you can say tar-xjvf followed by the file name. Okay, this will decompress and you will have a folder like this. You change directory to this, you will see these directories. If you see in the bin directory, I have other things installed also. But what you will have at the minimum is node will be there, and npm and npx should be there. So these three will be there. For others, you don't worry about those. Once you are here, you go to bin directory, you execute a pwd command, you will get this path. Then what you do is you edit your -rc file and you can make it look like something like this. You see this portion, okay, you put it before $path so that it overrides any other node installations in the system directory. You can install Linux package manager's node version also. Most Linux distributions will provide one version of node, but it is recommended that you use current LTS at a minimum from the Node.js website. I will make another video, and most probably that will be a separate video because sound settings in Windows are different compared to what is on Linux. So I'll make a separate video how to set up Node.js on Windows. For macOS, you can follow the similar instructions like Linux. It should work. I don't have a Mac machine, so I'm sorry I cannot show you. Then I have my working folder here. Now that is one of the things you need. The second thing you need is an IDE or editor. I'm using Visual Studio Code because JED is not working on this installation of Linux. You can use JED. You can use any editor you want. It is really your preference. Sometimes I may use Emacs also. Now to verify your installation, now once you edit the bash RC, you need to exit the console or shell, current shell, and create another. A simple way to do is opening a new tab. If you open a new tab, that will read your bash RC file and it will work. So you can simply run node, and if you get this REPL prompt, REPL prompt, then it's working. So once again, JavaScript is very popular language. It is one of the most popular. I think it's at the top place right now in the popular languages in Stack Overflow survey. And that means a lot of people use JavaScript, and there are lots of libraries written for JavaScript. It is quite popular for web development. It is also used for mobile or desktop development. This editor itself, Visual Studio Code, is written using TypeScript and Electron.js. So you can imagine that you can write a real world, I'll call it a very heavy application. An IDE can be written using JavaScript, and it works well. You can complain that no, it is using TypeScript, but TypeScript does not execute. What executes is essentially JavaScript. So let's write our first program, and the classical program would be console.log hello world. Unlike C, you don't need to terminate this with a semicolon, but we do it in any case. Strings can be inside single quote or double quote, does not matter. Okay. So after this, you can run this program node hello.js, and then it works. Hello world. So instead of print, the command is console.log here. Okay. So what we are going to first do is we are going to learn the language. Then we will see the Node.js library, and then we will do some server-side programming, and after that we will do client-side programming. By client-side, I mean in the browser. And after that, we will do some frameworks. I'll start with Svelte. So the Hello World program is here. You see how to execute it. And so let's get started on the JavaScript language a bit. Because JavaScript is a dynamic language, you declare a variable like this, x is equal to 5. And then you can say console.log. The value of x is, you can concatenate the string here simply like this, and it will print the value of x. Here, x is a variable, and 5 is the value associated with x. Since it is dynamically typed language, the type of x will be automatically inferred. If you really want to know the type of x, you can say console.log, give me the type of x, and it will tell us what type x is. It's a number. Now, something I would like to say right now is JavaScript does not have integers. Integers internally are presented using float or double representation. And if you remember, not remember, you might not have watched the C video. So if you look at IEEE 754 specification, IEEE 754, then oops, not this. I don't want this. Yeah, this one. And I want 64-bit representation. So 64-bit layout, yeah. So if you look at 64-bit layout, for exponents we have this, and for fraction we have this. Therefore, we have 52 bits here, and we have a sign bit, that is 53 bits. So only these values can be represented as an integer, right? So I don't remember the exact value of integer, but I'll show you in the next video the exact value. For now, you can rest assured that it is not 2 to the power 64. Okay. So getting keyboard input is another problem in Node.js, but we will come to that probably later. For now, we will play with this. If you want a string, you can say let s is equal to hello world, or better even hello JavaScript. So this is a string, and you can do console.log s, and it will print hello JavaScript. To comment the code, you can comment single line with the double slash, much like C++. And similarly for multi-line, you can use the Java, again the C++ comments. I believe even Java has similar commenting fashion syntax. So once you comment these, the commented code does not execute. So you see, now it shows an error. S is not defined because we commented this line. So we uncomment that. The commented code does not execute. And now only what is uncommented is there. So you can see how IDE helps. Suppose I say console and then we say dot. Then it tells us all the methods which we can invoke on this. For example, we say timestamp. I'm not sure if this will work. Let's see. It does not work. Anyway, I was just testing. I don't know a lot about console functions. So what is a variable and what is a type? There are three things here: variable, value, and type. So suppose you are doing C programming and you say int x is equal to 5. Then in memory, it reserves 4 bytes on 64-bit architecture. It will reserve 4 bytes to store this value. And it will mark that a variable C as an integer. Whenever you will operate on this C, the compiler will check for rules associated with integer types. Okay. And then it will operate on the value accordingly. But JavaScript is a dynamic language. So when you select x is equal to 5, it sees this value 5 and it appears as an integer or a number. That's why it associates the type number with variable x. Okay. Now, once this value is created, the name x is associated with value y, value of 5. So x becomes a variable. And the type is number and 5 is the value. In JavaScript, the other way to declare x is var x is equal to 5, or not x. Let's choose a different name, give it a different value. This is another way. We will discuss about var some time later also. What is the difference between let and var when we have discussed scope. For now, the best practice is don't use var. In general, don't use var. It is from the old syntax that we are stuck with var. You will use let. So this is a variable, that means its value can vary. We can say x is equal to 7 and it will work. We give it a new value and we say console.log and we say X, and then we say console.log, and we say X again. So it will print 5 here and 7 here. As you can see, it printed 5 and 7. So variables are those whose value can vary. S is also variable. So we can say console.log S, and we say S is equal to hello JS, and we can say console.log S. So, okay, we have not given the single quote. So this will print now hello JavaScript, hello JS. So you see it is printed like that. So to variables, we can reassign the value or a different value also, or the same value again also. Now, when you assign a value to a variable, it is held into memory. By memory, I mean RAM. It is kept in RAM. Now, when you assign a different value, a different place in empty RAM is used to hold this new value, and the old RAM is freed. Now in C, if you create a string using malloc or calloc, or in C++ using new, then you have to use free in C or delete in C++. But in JavaScript, since it is garbage collected, you don't need to do that. So less headache for programmers. But it is not always the nice thing to have garbage collection. Okay, there are two types of garbage collection. I will not go into detail right now, but let me tell you this. This garbage collection is both good and bad. The reasons we will see later. So for now, we have this, and we can do simple stuff like console.log. We can say 5 plus 5. Okay, this should print 10. Now we can ask, let's remove this garbage. Okay, now you will say let y is equal to 7. Can we add them? Okay, so you see you console.log x plus y. We can add them, we can multiply them, and so on. So there are many things which we can do. So this should print 10, 12, and 35, which is the case. So we can do a lot of mathematical stuff here. We will get into details slowly. So I think we have covered a lot of ground here for the first video. We learned how to set up the Node.js, how we can use it in browser, and so on. So I will take it slow, and we'll move slowly, but we'll make sure that whatever we study is solid and we understand what we are going to do. Now you can run all this code here also. Just go to console and copy this and paste it. There you go. It works, right? Same stuff, but it is a painful thing. Certain things in JavaScript will require browser. For example, there are things like document dot. This will require a browser. There is something called window dot. It will require a browser. Similarly, certain parts of JavaScript require this Node.js or the server environment. So we will not get into details. First, we will cover the core language. So I'll stop this video here, and I will try to record the Windows video and upload it, or maybe I'll see if I can put the Windows one also in the same video. So thanks a lot for watching. Happy programming.